Okay. All right. So, I'll just introduce myself. Realize I didn't do that yet. So my name is Ivana Freitas, and I'm one of two assistant directors here in on Brown's Global Partnerships and Programs team, working specifically with our CASA programs. So nice to see you all. And I'll pass it to Patricia.
Hello, everybody. I hope you all I hope you all enjoyed Thanksgiving, and thank you very much for joining us today in this session about studying abroad in Barcelona through the CASA program. My name is Patricia, and I'm one of the program coordinators in the CASA Barcelona program. And in this presentation, I will try to give you a glimpse of the most relevant aspects of the program so that you have a better idea of what you can expect if you're a student and you want to apply to the program. So,
And can you still see my screen? Okay. All right. So
okay. I think there's one slide before Ivana. Yeah. So thank you, Ivana. Thank you, Carolina and Alexa and Sophia and Sophie again to joining us today in this session about studying abroad in Barcelona through the CASA program. What you can see in this first slide is an example of three Barcelona landmarks. The beach, although it is not until 1990s that the process to consolidate the coastline starts in anticipation of the 1992 Olympic Games, which brought other relevant changes to the city and put Barcelona in the world stage. Then the Ramblas, the three-line pedestrianized boulevard that goes from Plaza Catalunya, which is more or less the center of the city, to the harbor, and which is perhaps the most iconic Barcelona city. And then Parwell, which is one of the city's largest green spaces, designed by probably the best known Catalan architect, Antoni Gaudí. So in a city with these and many other attractions, CASA offers semester and year-long programs that cater for students with an advanced level of Spanish. Next one, please. So throughout this presentation, we will explore the program's highlights, such as academics, partner institutions, housing, excursion and cultural activities, or how to apply to CASA Barcelona. Yeah, next one, please. So, how's life in Barcelona? Well, Barcelona is a young cosmopolitan city, which is also the second largest city in Spain. It has a Mediterranean climate with mild winters and hot and long summers. Barcelona is also the capital of Catalonia, one of the 17 autonomous communities in Spain. The autonomous community would be the equivalent to the state in the US. Catalan people speak both Catalan and Spanish, but they also have their own culture and traditions. And one of these traditions are the Castellers, the human towers that you can see in the picture. And as I mentioned, Gaudi's buildings are one of the greatest landmarks of the city, and Sagrada Familia is likely his best known piece of work, although there are many other examples by him and his contemporaries, such as the building that hosts the Casa offices, designed by Jeroni Granell, another well-known modernist architect. Barcelona offers a myriad of activities to enjoy in your free time, so you won't get bored. Apart from the beach, the Ramblas, and all the Gaudi buildings, there are also many museums and galleries for culture vultures, hiking routes for nature lovers, and many concerts and music festivals, and a great restaurant scene. And as explained, there is also an urban beach with Wi-Fi, which is always a plus. Then, okay, the CASA Barcelona program is open to students from all academic backgrounds who have completed a minimum of 6 semesters of college level Spanish or the equivalent. If students have not reached this level, but they have completed a combination of at least intermediate or advanced Spanish and some Catalan coursework, they are also encouraged to apply. The academic course offering, together with some activities organized throughout the semester, helps students improve their language skills. And also in most courses, Casa Barcelona students go to class alongside locals, and therefore immersion is pretty high. The program offers a combination of CASA courses, which are taught in conjunction with two of our partner institutions, in this case, the UAB and the UB, and also direct enrollment classes in the four public universities with whom the program collaborates from the very beginning, which are the UB, the UAB, the Polytechnic School, and Universitat Pompeu Fabra. The CASA courses are two of them, the pro-seminar and the semester-long courses called CASA courses, which I will explain in detail in a minute. The pro-seminar is the 2-3 week-long class that all students complete upon arrival and prior to the start of university classes. It is delivered by the UAB, the Universitat Autónoma de Barcelona, and its goal is to provide students with relevant language skills and content about the local context. And then the semester-long courses are taught by the resident director, a visiting professor from one of the CASA member institutions, or a professor from one of the local partner universities, in this case, the UB. And they also aim at helping students gain a deeper understanding of the subjects taught, which are always related to Barcelona, Catalonia, and or Spain. We will talk about these courses in more detail in the next slide. So, as mentioned, the CASA courses, which are the CASA UAB and the CASA UB courses, are taught by one of the local partner universities. So the CASA UAB course is the pro-seminar course, which is an intensive class that aims to facilitate the knowledge and adaptation of students to the local context. It consists of 4 clear modules, as well as activities and study trips, and it is taught by the UAB, one of our partner institutions. The 4 modules are academic Spanish, is going to facilitate the linguistic integration of students in the Spanish university system. Students work on the most complex grammatical aspects of Spanish, and they also cover some of the topics such as the conventions of writing an essay at a Catalan or Spanish university. Then the second module would be basic Catalan, which is a survival kit that teaches students the basics of the Catalan language, so that they can navigate day-to-day life, such as reading the city signs, taking public transportation, or buying food. The third module is the history and culture of Catalonia and Spain course, which helps students become familiar and recognize the main peculiarities and differences of the Catalan society in relation to Spain and Europe. It also helps them contextualize them historically. And then the academic and cultural activities offered throughout the course, throughout the semester, are also embedded in this module of the pro seminar. Then the fourth module is the research paper or internship or volunteer placement. The research project allows students to be immersed in the local environment and study its cultural and historical features. And the work will require the reading of books and or carry out field research under the guidance of a tutor who's always one of the UAB professors who have taught one of the pro-seminar modules before. And some examples of research projects written by past students are how the US and the Spanish health system differ, the impact of mass tourism in Barcelona, and the role of women in the Spanish Civil War. And then the goal of the internship and volunteer placement is also to help students gain a deeper understanding of the local context. And it will provide more information. I will provide you with more information in in one of the following slides. And then, the class-based sessions, which are Spanish for academic purposes, Introduction to Catalan, and the module on History and Culture of Catalonia and Spain, are covered throughout the first 2-3 weeks of the program, and they finish right before the start of the university courses. Whereas the research project and the internship or volunteer placement take place through the semester. And then we have the CASA UB courses that are taught by the resident director, a visiting professor from one of the CASA member institutions, or a professor from one of the local partner universities, in this case, the UAB. They are also designed to help students acquire a deep understanding of the subject studied and a better knowledge of the local, regional, and national context. A couple of examples of CASA courses that have been offered from the very beginning and that will be offered again in the spring, in next spring, are Picasso, Miro, and Dali, which proposes a historical artistic approach to the study of the main Spanish representatives of the international avant-garde movement of the first part of the 20th century, who are Pablo Picasso, Joan Miró, and Salvador Dalí. And the course is taught by Miquela Rosso. Professor Rosso is assigned to the UB Department of Art History. And then another one is the Spanish Civil War and its historical memory, which is taught by Juanjo Romero, the CASA Barcelona resident director, who could not be here today, but who will you will be able to, I'm sure, know at some point if you apply to the program or you have any questions about it. And this course focuses on the current debate on the relationship between history and memory. And well, as for the practical components of the course, the analysis focuses on 3 case studies: the Spanish Civil War, but also the South American dictatorships, and the recent memorialist revision in the countries of Eastern Europe. And then, part of these CASA courses, which are the per-seminar and the CASA UB courses, all students complete the rest of the classes at the 4 local universities: UB, UAB, UPC, and UPF, with whom the CASA Barcelona programs collaborates from the very beginning. These universities offer a myriad of subjects taught in Spanish and also in Catalan in virtually all disciplines, from the humanities to social sciences and STEM. The CASA Barcelona students also, as I said before, they all go to class alongside local students, and so the degree of immersion is pretty high, as you can imagine. In order for students to choose the best courses according to their background and interests, and also make sure that their home university will award credits for such classes, it is essential that they all check the available options with their home institution, both before coming to Barcelona and also through the registration process. And so students must also make a pre-selection of classes before their arrival in Barcelona. And the CASA Barcelona team will contact all students well in advance to provide them with detailed information regarding how to pre-select classes. Additionally, Each student will be assigned to a CASA staff member who will be their CASA Barcelona advisor throughout the semester and also prior to their arrival in Barcelona. As far as housing is concerned, well, all students are housed in the same dorm, which is called BU Living Marina. They are with local and other international students. Um, each student has a single room with a private bathroom with shower, and shares the kitchen and a living and a dining area with 9 other flatmates. Students that need to bring red linens and towels with them, since these are provided by the dorm. And other services included are weekly cleaning and bi-weekly change of sheets and towels, as well as study rooms, Wi-Fi, a gym, and rooftop pools. There is a restaurant on VU's ground floor, which offers meal plans at additional cost that students can purchase once on site. Some students do this. Some others prefer to go to the market and buy their groceries and prepare them in the shared kitchens with other friends. It really depends on each student's interest and also budget, because obviously if they go to the market and get their groceries and then cook back home at their dorm, they will save a bit of money. Well, then, as I said before, the program offers study trips and cultural activities during the orientation weeks, as well as throughout the semester, and they are all conducted in Spanish. Again, the aim is to allow students to develop an appreciation for the diverse aspects of the local society and culture, and to expand the knowledge acquired in class. The majority of the activities are part of the pro seminar, the course which is taught in conjunction with the UAB, and thus attendance is mandatory and part of the final grade. For example, it is required that all students submit two brief reviews of the study trips, which constitute a portion of the pro seminar grade. Also, when designing the activities, we always have in mind that we would like students to get to know Barcelona, Catalonia, and Spain better. We know that they always have plans to visit other European countries, and this is why we focus on more local trips. This semester, for example, we explored Tarragona and its Roman ruins in the south of Spain, of Catalonia, sorry, and Girona in the northeastern part of the region, a city which has a very well preserved old town. And then throughout the semester, we also offer optional cultural activities such as a cooking class and a tapas night, which, as you can imagine, are two of the most successful. And then, yeah, as mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, internships and volunteer placements are one of the four pro seminar modules. Students can choose among doing an internship, participating in a volunteer program, or writing a research paper. And each of them are completed throughout the semester once classes at the university start. Interning and volunteering are full immersion activities, and we think they are also an excellent way for students not only to gain not only experience for their professional future, but also a deeper understanding of the local society and culture. There are various options available. Academic internships, for example, must be closely related to the student's field of study. For instance, this semester, there is a history major collaborating with a project related to the international brigades that took part in the Spanish Civil War. And we also have a STEM student interning at the Biophysics and Bioengineering unit of the UB School of Medicine. And then another popular option is the language volunteer program in Barcelona public schools, where students are English TAs. For this particular program, since they're going to be in contact with minors, they are required to have the FBI background check with the Hague apostille. Fortunately, it is the only is the only program for which this requirement is asked, because we know that the process is not easy and some of the students are put off by this requirement. But yeah, a law was passed in 2018 in Spain, and yeah, all any student, worker who is in contact with under 18 people are asked to have that. And then other volunteer opportunities include local NGOs that take care of people at risk of social inclusion, and others that collaborate, for example, with the LGBTQ community. And I think this is all from my side. I will now pass the word to Ivana, who will cover the rest of the presentation. Thank you, Ivana.
Thank you so much, Patricia. And I think with all that Patricia shared, hopefully that gives you all a sense of kind of the primary components of the program in Barcelona. And Patricia has been with the program for some years and does a lot of work on those internships and the volunteering opportunities. I was able to visit, it's been a few years now, pre-COVID, and was able to visit some of the public schools. And we have a really, really high percentage of students that participate in those internships specifically. We have close to 60 students attending the program next semester, and a lot of whom are already inquiring about how they can participate in the internship. So that's a part of the program we're really proud of. So I'll talk a little bit about some of the logistics of the program. One of which is Spanish student visas. So it's something we bring to the forefront, especially for advisors and students that are interested in the program. Is you obviously do need a passport to go to Spain, but in addition to that, you do need a Spanish student visa. And we recommend that you, as soon as you know you might be interested in studying abroad, you look at your passport, ensure that it's updated, because that can take, renewal can take quite a bit to do, and depending on what nationality of a passport you have. And then in addition to that, applying for the Spanish visa can take up to 8 weeks. Here at Brown, we walk students through the process of how to apply for a student visa, depending on if you're applying as a visiting student, so that would be a non-CASA member institution, or if you're part of one of the CASA member institutions. The visa guidance will look a little bit different, but you'll be getting guidance on how to do that. So this is just a plug really to know that this is a process. It's not the most fun process, but we help you walk through it. And it might look just a little bit of a longer process than, say, some of your other friends that might be going to study in other places around the world. So health, safety, and security, I want to talk a little bit about the insurance, or the different layers of insurance that you have going on the CASA Barcelona program. So in a lot of cases, students will have 3, sometimes 4 different insurance coverages when they're in Spain, which is not a bad thing, but it's definitely on us to help walk you through what each one means and when to use each one. So for our programs in Barcelona and Granada, all students will be covered by a Sanitas local Spanish insurance. This is really your go-to health insurance while you're in Spain. Any type of accident or sickness you might have, Sanitas covers almost across all different clinics and hospitals in Spain. In addition to that, you'll be covered by International SOS. So This is really an emergency service of sorts that should there be any type of medical issue, or say you're traveling outside of Spain and there's a safety or security issue, be it a natural disaster, um, international SOS would kick in and helps us with things like evacuation or repatriation and all of that. So Sanitas and International SOS are included in the tuition that you would pay to attend the CASA Barcelona program. Um, both insurances also provide mental health resources and support. So I know with International SOS, they help set up emotional support counseling services that you could do virtually, even via the US as well. And then all of our CASA programs do have an emergency phone and emergency system. So there's 24 hours, 24/7 support, and that emergency phone is rotated across all of our staff there on site. And then, of course, we have our European-wide emergency services number. So this is really to share just kind of our broad range of emergency protocols and insurances that we offer if you join the CASA Barcelona program. And then a little bit about our program dates and costs for the program. So we're already thinking about fall 2025. If you're a student, you might be interested in spring 2026, which feel free to contact us and our information will be at the end. We can share more about spring if you might be interested in that. But for the fall, the program dates are August 26th to December 24th. So it's a 4-month program. It's similar to the US semester and semester calendar. Something that is unique about the Casa Barcelona program is really the opportunity to directly enroll across the 4 universities that Patricia mentioned earlier on in the presentation. That said, the exam schedule will look different depending on what university you go to and what class you're in. So the latest departure date would be December 24th for next fall. But your official last program day will be the day after your final exam. So for most students that may run up in the fall through December, if you're looking at the spring, that end date can range quite a bit depending on when your final exam is. So for in the spring, it can go all the way to the beginning of June or middle of June, but a lot of students will leave at the end of May as well. So it really depends. And then the housing cost for the fall, it's $5,300, and that is for the BU housing that Patricia talked about earlier in the session. That does not include meals. So on our website, you'll see all the detailed cost of the full cost of attendance. The tuition is going to vary depending on whether you're a Brown student, whether you attend one of the CASA member institutions, or whether you apply to Brown as a visiting student. So we have a good number of students that will come from Duke University, for example, or if you're from any other school that is not a CASA member, you are welcome to apply. And so those tuition rates will vary depending on what type of student and how you're attending the program and what type of credit you're going to get for the program. So a little bit about applying. So I mentioned these 3 types of students that we work with across the CASA programs. Brown students, of course, where Brown administers this CASA program. There are also CASA students, and I realize I didn't mention too much about CASA and kind of what that means in depending on who's in the room, but CASA is a consortium of research universities, and so we all collaborate on these programs. And then of the consortium, we have 7 programs, 5 that Brown administers, Harvard administers the one in Chile, and Cornell administers the program we have in Seville. So we have different types of students coming through all of the programs, and the cohorts are made up of a mixture of students from different universities, which is really cool. So the application process will look a little different depending on what school you're coming from. For Brown and visiting students, you're going to apply through Brown's application portal, which you'll see a screenshot to the right of the screen. Um, we also have information for visiting students on our website, and the website address right there that you can visit to learn more about how to apply as a visiting student through Brown. And then if you're a CASA student, there is a separate kind of application process through your home school. By and large, if you're looking at timing, it's going to be around March 1st is going to be the deadline. Um, that's for us at CASA. But that said, keep in mind what your homeschool application deadline is, because that might be different. So if you go to a non-Brown school, the deadline for applying to study abroad in general may be February 15th, or maybe February 1st, or maybe the year before your study abroad program. So definitely contact your study abroad advisor to learn more about holistically what the application process and timeline looks like. But generally, at least at Brown and for Brown visiting students, we require a transcript. You do need to have an advanced level of Spanish to attend the program. So that's usually 6 semesters of Spanish. If you have some Catalan, we can also kind of look at your language background and assess whether the program might be a good fit for you. So we have the transcript. We also require an essay, which is a shorter essay just to get a sense of your motivations for going on the program, and the language proficiency piece I just spoke to. But this is really all to get an idea of, would you be a good fit for the program? We want you to be successful on the program. So the language proficiency is also really important to us, as you'll be taking classes alongside local students. So that is the presentation component of the info session. Like we said, if you have any questions at all, definitely visit our website. You'll get a lot of information there on program costs, on classes. You can also contact the general email for Barcelona, which is info@barcelona.casa.education. And here's my email as well. So if you have any questions about the CASA Barcelona program, CASA in general, the application process, Patricia and the rest of the Barcelona team and I work really closely. So often there might be like a specific academic question around one of the universities that I don't know. And I'm saying, Patricia, please help. And they are so knowledgeable across all of the different universities. There are hundreds of courses to consider, which is really exciting, but we understand can also be overwhelming for students. So we have a really structured pre-departure process and orientation and advising to help students and advisors and even faculty, if they're interested, understand that process a bit too. So we will wrap it up there. I'm going to stop